Do you underestimate the value of being a small business as opposed to the value that big businesses can provide? I find myself quite often talking to customers who have been invited to quote for a piece of work, and they know that a couple of bigger companies or bigger agencies have also been invited to quote for the same work. And what nearly always happens in these situations is that the person running the small business, we get the classic case of imposter syndrome and feeling out of their depth, feeling like they're going to get rumbled and feeling like they're just going to get blown out of the water by the big guys. And it's really easy in that sort of situation to think, how can I compete with them? They've got more staff, more facilities, bigger everything, they've just got a much bigger, broader, more professional offering potentially. But do you know what? There are a million things that you have to offer which they absolutely cannot match. And for me, small businesses have an enormous amount of advantages over big businesses in the vast majority of cases. So I just wanted to talk you through this a little bit today and hopefully get you to broaden your horizons and realise just how incredibly powerful small businesses can be, and actually what advantages you may well have against the big guys out there. So the most obvious thing is that a smaller business can be so much more flexible and far more adaptable than a big business. I often compare it to being on a boat. And if you are, especially the bigger the company, the tougher it is to turn your boat. So if you try and turn around a corporate, if you try and change the direction of a corporate, it is like trying to change the direction of a ferry. It is going to take minutes, it's going to take miles just to change that angle to the slightest degree. But if you're in a small business, you're in the equivalent of a speedboat. If you decide to change direction, you can do it in an instant. Now, I'm not suggesting changing direction as in totally changing your business model, but from a customer's perspective, if you think about your own customer, if you start on a path with them and the customer decides that they want to change the path of their journey, then you can adapt with them in an instant. You can be flexible, you can be supportive, you can be right there with them, and you can adapt and mould your support to them to really give them the crucial support that they need. Whereas a bigger business is going to find it so much tougher to be adaptable. They're likely to be a lot more rigid and a lot more set in their ways. So you've got a massive advantage over them. The other crucial advantage is in the service that you can offer, because in a small business, you are going to get to know your customers and build the type of personal relationship that a bigger business really never can. They are going to spend a certain amount of time getting to know that customer, but then more often than not, the customer will get passed on then to a developer, a designer, a junior. They just get delegated essentially within that team. So they lose the real personal relationship that is developed right up front. Whereas with you and your team, even if you have a team in place, you're going to be working far closer with both your team and the customer than a big agency, a big company ever will do. So you can also offer the customer a depth of understanding and a level of personal service that those bigger companies will really struggle to compete with. So you can see, I hope, that actually small businesses have some really significant advantages over the big guys. So the next time you think, how do I compete with them? Or how can I offer the same kind of things that they can? Just stop and think about the incredible advantages that being small in business offers to both you and your customer. So I hope that helps you today to really feel proud of the incredible impact that we in small businesses have in this country, and to really think about the value that you can provide and the ways that you can stand out. I would love to hear in the comments below what this video really means to you. Does it connect with you? Have you had examples yourself of when you've been able to show a customer just how much more adaptable or what better service you can offer? Really love to hear your stories too. A like and a subscribe on here would of course be amazing as well. And if there's somebody else who you know needs to hear this message to really kind of get behind themselves in their business, then please feel free to share.